What's up? Danny Hayasaka with Colony, helping people do their business better. So we're coming to you from the Call One Hell Direct Logitech Experience Room out of Cape Canaveral, Florida. And we are joined by our good buddy, Trevor Rush. And we are going to have a discussion around changes that have happened over the last few years to the work landscape, as well as some of the changes that have happened with the management of all the various devices in this new way of working, as well as maybe touch on some of the services that Logitech has introduced. So Trevor, welcome.
Hey man, good to be back.
Yeah, and let's just take it away. What has Logitech seen in terms of changes from when we first had our conversation, I think a year, almost two ago, to now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is definitely just the continued embrace of hybrid work. And I think that's just the number one thing that we're, really focused on as a business, is continuing to enable companies to enable their teams to work the best way possible in a hybrid model. So that means working in both the meeting rooms in the office with remote participants, and then enabling those remote participants to have the best experience possible on their side of the meeting as well. So I'd say that's really what we've been trying to focus on over the last couple of years.
Yeah. Have you guys seen any changes in terms of, because or right at the height of the pandemic, it was kind of like wild, wild west, and organizations kind of allowed their employees or team members to just go out and buy whatever devices they wanted, or not so much wanted, but needed, because it was such a challenge to get equipment. Are you seeing a change in what organizations are doing in terms of setting new device standards for the actual employee, the individual employee?
Yeah, I'd say that there's still people. I think a lot of companies have been very good about trying to give teams budget, or outfitting them as best as they can throughout the pandemic, and that's been really cool to see that type of adoption. But I think that, like you said, that did wake up a lot of IT teams to the fact that, oh wow, I really do need to consider this, and what types of tech, not only just giving them a budget to do it, but what exactly are they using? How does that impact me as an IT manager, and what they're using, and how can I best support my team with that type of technology? So I think that's where teams are starting to focus a little bit more on, is being, like you said, a little bit more prescriptive about what type of technology and how they're going to manage it, to really make sure that their team on the far end has the best experience possible.
Yeah, and that's a great segue to get into Logitech Sync, right? Because I know a lot has occurred over just this past year in terms of the capabilities of Logitech Sync and what it's able to do, and also just the integration with, I know from personal experience with the Zoom rooms, it's just so nice to see your devices there, and it's so easy to manage remotely. But talk a little bit more about any updates that Sync has made over this last year.
Absolutely, there's been a ton, so I've got some notes here. So I'll make sure I'll rattle through some of these here. But since we were talking about the kind of, the expansion of, personal collaboration devices and making those more available to teams, one of the kind of problems that kind of popped up for people were, I have no visibility over, webcams, headsets, docks that I have deployed out to these employees. So they were really asking us for a solution to that. So one of the implementations that we did throughout I think it came out at the beginning of last year. So it's almost a year old now, but it's exciting to see the continued adoption of it, is the integration of our Logitech Tune app with Sync. So this way, IT managers can deploy Tune to their workers' computers, and it will report back the information of the devices that they have connected. So they can easily see what they have deployed out there, and then they can also publish and make available new firmware versions for their end users as well. So that way, you and I sitting on the far end, we just see a firmware update is available. IT's vetted it already. I can easily update, and if I have a question for IT, if something's not working, they can easily help me troubleshoot and understand what firmware version I'm on, or what kind of configuration I'm in. Is my headset Bluetooth connected? Is it using the dongle? Do I have my webcam connected through a dock? It makes it much easier for that type of diagnosis. So that's number one. I'd say that's one of the biggest kind of efforts we worked on last year, with the addition of the personal collaboration devices into Sync. But of course, the sort of main core of Sync up till this point so far has been the support of meeting rooms. So we've done a number of big changes to continue to support meeting rooms and IT teams that have deployed that technology. So one of the biggest ones we actually released right before the Christmas break is called update channels. So being able to create your own channels and define the firmware versions that you want for those devices, so that as you're onboarding devices, you can put them into specific channels, and then when you go and hit that update button, you're confident that it's going directly to the channel version that you have defined. And with that, we also provided a Logitech beta channel. So if you want to be on the cutting edge of brand new stuff that we're deploying, you can be on that. You can have a few test rooms set up. You can try out the beta software as much as you want to try it. So that's pretty cool.
That is very cool. And in terms of, so speaking of organizations sort of, I don't want to say they're ironing out or they're just kind of setting in stone what work model they're going to follow. All I know is that regardless of whether folks are remaining remote, returning to the office, or adopting some sort of hybrid work model, video is here to stay. And so there's a ton of interest around how do you get meeting spaces to be a more collaborative space, right? That allows team members to kind of collaborate with inclusivity and meeting equality, so that everybody, whether you're in person or remote, has the same great experience. And I know you guys have been doing a lot to sort of foster that and provide great solutions. And you're doing some updates with the Colab OS, and we're doing Grid View, which is a video coming out on that here, hopefully before this one or after, to show Grid View on the Logitech Rally Bar. But one of the things that happens in organizations is equipment goes down, right? So in that instance, what has Logitech done, or does Logitech have anything to sort of respond to that, or to help customers when their really critical room goes down?
Absolutely. So we'll talk a little bit about like the services that we have available as well. So Logitech Select and Sync Plus, but at its basic, Sync is the basics. The basic feature set that comes with Sync is always free, and that provides monitoring and management capabilities. So you'll always be able to see directly from Sync dashboard the status of all your meeting rooms. So you can go and easily check, make sure they're online, or what's offline, what devices have been disconnected, what components have been disconnected. If somebody goes in and yanks a mic pod or a camera out, you'll be able to see that very easily from the platform. But then, as you mentioned, Danny, how can we be proactively made aware of those situations? So as a part of Sync Plus, which is the next step up for Sync, you're able to have two new features. So that's insights and alerts. So specifically in this scenario, we're talking about alerts. So you're able to configure your email alerts so that they can come in. You can define, what type of things you want to receive alerts for, when you want to receive them. Do you want them batched, or do you want them single? Do you want resolution email? So all types of configurations for these alerts that are going to roll in. And they're also easily formatted so that if you want to, say, forward these to some sort of other tool that you use for dispatching alerts like PagerDuty or Atlassian or something like that, they digest very easily. And then also along with that alerting, we also have an integration with ServiceNow. So if your team's already using ServiceNow, you can easily pipe those alerts over to ServiceNow. They integrate into your existing workflows and makes it very seamless.
Nice. Yeah, and then so the other piece, again, I don't know how well versed you are with this, but I just wanted to mention to the world.
Yeah.
Logitech Select, right? It's a thing. It exists, and this is the service plan for meeting rooms, right? That maximizes that uptime, that 24/7 uptime, because we all know there are those meeting spaces that are mission critical, and businesses can't afford to have anything go down. So if equipment goes down, they need replacements in a hurry. And so I don't know if you have
Yeah. So I can give you a little bit more information on Select. So as you mentioned, it's kind of like, our white glove kind of service. And so this includes things like, advanced RMAs of products to get those things, overnighted as fast as possible, on-site spares to make sure that, like you said, if mission critical things are going down, you've got some, you can replace these right away, dedicated support. And then of course, Sync Plus, which is the expanded features I was just talking about of insights and alerting as well that, help to enhance the experience. And I believe the extended warranties on there as well. So I'm sure I even left off a couple of things. It's a really awesome service offering that we provide for the meeting rooms there. And I think that, what we've seen over this last year too is, some really good adoption of Select, and the customers have been really excited about it. And I think it's really, our team's got it really dialed in now, and they're providing a great experience for our customers.
Yeah. And so just to kind of close out, because, I want to be respectful of people's time, but so when it comes to Logitech, so what I've seen over the last year is a greater expansion of the overall work ecosystem, right? So it was, everyone was talking about Logitech video conferencing and their video bars, right? For a while there, but I've also seen an expansion because you guys now have the Logitech Zone true wireless earbuds that are Microsoft Teams certified. You have the whole Zone series of headsets, the wired, the wireless, the Zone wired earbuds, and then you guys are introducing a new Vibe series or UC series of headsets.
Yep, this guy right here.
and so you're also expanding into having these not only the headsets, the webcams. Of course, you guys are coming out with a whole range of new webcams, like the Brio 305 that's just come out, but you're going to come out with others, or the 505.
505.
Yeah. The other ones coming. The other ones are coming, right? But you also have all these keyboards and mice, and I know a lot of people sometimes don't. They just look at that as just some peripheral. But I know you guys are working towards making it, again, just having this complete entire or ecosystem of solutions that will kind of cover an employee regardless of where they're working,
Exactly. Yeah, that's really, I think, the kind of goal from the B2B perspective here is to be in that position where we can, we're outfitting, workers like kind of complete desks, right? It's kind of a one-stop shop. As you're able to, it makes it dead simple for IT managers when they come in to do that buying, right? It's like, we can even have kind of, potentially different levels of, do you want a kind of entry level, the high-end kit that you might be giving to some folks, and really we have a ton of options. You'd be able to kind of pick and choose through those what makes most sense for your particular employees or groups to make it as simple as possible. And then, like you were saying too, is the best part is that these all work so seamlessly together, and you have the best experience possible.
Nice. All right. So, well, everyone, if you need to learn more about Logitech devices as well as their solutions and services and their software, reach out to us. We'll include all our contact information somewhere in the description box or in a comment or in a link or somewhere, right? You're going to be able to reach out to us. We'll also include Logitech's information as well, so that you can read up and learn more about these solutions and services. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like this type of video, don't forget to give us that like, subscribe, and comment below. Let us know what you want to see, and we'll do our best to make it. Thanks.